Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Egal Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Let's get through it. There's a bunch of things that we need to discuss. And before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And let's get this show started on the right track. First things first, we're going to be talking today about a couple things, but always the Benjamin Šeško saga has to be the first thing on the docket. So the feeling is that a deal will happen for Benjamin Šeško. Arsenal remain very positive. No agreement has yet been done. Mikel Arteta wants a 22-year-old striker from Leipzig, and the fee is reportedly around 80 million to 100 million euros. Now, that fee looks like it's actually going to be a little bit lower, as reported by many other journalists, that it's closer to the 67 million pound rate, but I don't know where they keep getting those valuations from. Now, really interesting news is that Arsenal and Andre Berta are now looking to get a head recruit. This looks like the head recruit is going to be this man here, Mateos Torganizeno. He is a very interesting character because, of course, he previously worked at Juventus, and he was Juventus head scout. He has scouted some very, very interesting players in the past, and he looks like a very interesting candidate. Now, I'm not going to act like I know too much about him. I'm going to have to look more into it, but Arsenal are currently in advanced talks with him, and this is a very interesting development as we are moving quick to move to fix up all of Andre Berta's backroom staff and get him somebody who's really talented at identifying the next gems in world football, and he has identified some gems over there already at Juventus. Now, in other news, Thomas Partey reportedly has a verbal agreement with Arsenal, and is no major issue. They're just ironing out the new deal with Thomas Partey. But if he was not to get a new deal and things were to go south, we now maybe have an idea of who the potential Thomas Partey alternative or replacement could be. Now, before we talk too much about that, I'm just going to ask you guys to please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to tell you guys about a player. The player is a French international. He's Cameroonian born. He plays for Seville in Spain. And this is none other than the man himself, Lucien Agoume. Now, you're probably wondering who Lucien Agoume is and where I got these links from. I'm going to talk to you guys about it in a second. Lucien Agoume has been linked to Arsenal recently. The 22-year-old has been linked to Arsenal as recent as 4 days ago. He shares an agent with William Saliba, and Arsenal are keeping tabs on this on the Seville midfielder, according to reports from Con Harris. The scouts and everybody have been keeping eyes on him. He would be potentially a replacement for or an alternative to Thomas Partey. Now, he could be linked to other clubs also. Nothing stopping other clubs from coming in from him, but he was spoken about in December as a potential Thomas Partey replacement, and he could be back on the cards in the case that Thomas Partey does leave. He's a very, very affordable midfielder. He would be anywhere between 5 to 15 million pounds at the worst, and this is one of the potential targets. He looks very similar to Thomas Partey, the way that he plays on and off the ball. He's a very interesting profile of player, similar to Thomas Partey. And if there was one thing that I would say, he is still very young. He's 23 years old, has a lot of experience at the top level, as he's played many years of football already at the age of 23. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But if Thomas Partey stays, then we most likely will not be signing him, even though for 5 to 15 million, I would throw that money and just try to get him in the door already. And it's crazy. He's 23 years old, but he's been playing football since 2018. That is nuts. He's been playing football. He has been playing football at the top level since he was at Inter Milan in 2019, 2024. He was loaned out like several times. He's been playing football at the top level since he's been 15. That is insane, you know. He's been playing football at the top level since he's been 15. Unbelievable. Fair play to him. But yeah, I don't know how he is. at the age of 17, he made his first appearance in the French league. Yeah, so 16 years old, he made his debut. Nuts. But yeah, let's get back to the other news, as there's a couple more things that we need to discuss before we go any further. We also have signed Kepa. You guys already know about that. Let's go to ZRAFC. Boom. This is another guy who had some news for us in the last 48 hours. So we already spoke about those two. Myles Lewis-Skelly. Good news about Myles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan. It looks like Arsenal are going to get a deal done for the two of them. We're optimistic at this moment in time to get a deal done for the two of them. Also, we've already spoken about Thomas Partey. Arsenal have have no agreement with Thomas Partey. The situation is currently open. Partey is said to be cautious, as the next contract could potentially be his last big contract with his agent, wanting its importance to reflect with the terms and proposal. So basically, they want good terms and good wages for him potentially having his last contract at Arsenal. So yeah, that does make sense. You do want to safeguard yourself. You want to make sure you're protected. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row and everything already in there before you end up signing a contract, which you're going to regret. So I do understand that. As for Arsenal, we're currently looking to get 4 deals done. Saka, William Saliba, Ethan, and Myles Lewis-Skelly all looking to get new deals. That is very interesting right there. We also heard about Leroy Sané. It looks like Leroy Sané is going to most likely end up at Fenerbahce or Galatasaray or in Saudi. Bayern Munich are no longer speaking to him about a new deal. And Arsenal, I think he's just a little bit too rich for our blood, as he wants over 240K a week. And I don't think we're going to give Leroy Sané over 240K a week. That would just absolutely mess up our wage structure. So I don't think we want to do that as a football club right now, to mess up our wage structure. We already spoke yesterday about Rafael Leal being available for 60 million pounds, but I don't think Arsenal is prioritizing the signing of Rafael Leal. As you guys are aware, we are currently prioritizing the potential signing of Rodrigo. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the potential Rodrigo links and everything else with the links to Rodrigo. We're going to have to wait and see if we do go a little bit harder towards that, or if we stand back and just let him go elsewhere. We're going to wait and see. But I do think Rafael Leal is most likely going to replace the likes of Leroy Sané and Coleman over there at Bayern. It's a good deal, affordable deal, and Leroy Sané heading to Bayern does make sense to me, in my opinion. Now, there is rumors that Emi Martinez and Victor Gyökeres could end up at Manchester United, and I think that would be a good deal for Manchester United. Emi Martinez and Victor Gyökeres ending up at Manchester United would be a good deal for them. Manchester United do seem like the front runners for Victor Gyökeres at this moment in time. Not really too much news on Arsenal looking at Victor Gyökeres anymore, as that has gone quiet. It looks like we are seriously just looking at one player, and that is Sesko. Don't see any more news on Arsenal. If there is any more news on Arsenal, I will get back to you guys. But for now, it's a quiet day. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the Nations League third place game between Germany and France. It should be a good game, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday, and I'll catch you on Monday. Peace.